continuing to understand in their RPO game, run pass option, where to go with the ball. So I think you'll see quick decisions tonight and a veteran quarterback with great poise.
And Book will get the football momentarily. The Irish won the toss and elected to receive. So Blanton Creaky, the veteran kicker from Louisville, to boot it away. And that Louisville defense looking for immediate improvement. They were gashed, as we said, repeatedly last year. Jafar Armstrong, Herman Williams are back deep for the Irish. Long anticipated night in this city that sits 4 hours due south of the Notre Dame campus. And the lefty boots it to the end zone, and a fair catch is made at the 2-yard line by Armstrong. So here comes Ian Book. Of course, you know that he took over as the starter Game 4 last year, now as a junior. It was a sobering evening against the Clemson Tigers, and he's tried to build on that.
Absolutely. And the other thing I think we should talk about are the intangibles. More leadership. Last year he was kind of a quiet leader. I think this year he's taking more control. Brian Kelly telling us no matter who he is dealing with, whether it's offensive linemen, receivers, backs, even the defense, he has become a complete team leader, and I think you'll see that pay dividends for the Irish this year.
No more Dexter Williams in the backfield, so the Irish will lean on a rotation. It's Tony Jones Jr. getting the start. Book on play action, steps up and escapes. He's a good runner, and he's got a lot of space. Already bolting into Louisville territory and diving down inside the 40 as they forgot about the quarterback.
Well, C.J. Avery shows blitz, the middle linebacker, and one of the things he forgets to do is you'll see linebackers show blitz up the middle. They got to get back and spy. If you don't spy, see how he has his back turned? He's looking for a crossing route, but you have to account for an athletic quarterback. So mental error here for Louisville in the very first play of the season.
And a career-long 37-yard run for Book as they feed Jones, who just muscles straight for about 10 yards. Irish imposing themselves early here. All 5 offensive linemen here began as tackles. Banks, Patterson, Kramer have moved inside. It's a good bunch.
Sure is. Aaron Banks, I think, provides that power. I'm going to see if Chase Claypool is ready to become the guy with Miles Boykin moving on. We'll see a lot of backs. Jafar Armstrong is a running back but can also play receiver. And Fink is outstanding, number 10.
It's a 2-back look, and Armstrong gets the handle, and he's going to bang forward for a first down inside the 25. Louisville's defense doesn't lack individual talent, Kirk, but they just lack cohesion and chemistry and effort at times last year.
Yeah, G.G. Robinson, 94, is a guy that's got to make plays up front. C.J. Avery and Dorian Etheridge, both in the middle, are going to have to make a lot of tackles with the way they build this defense. Russ Yeast, the leader, moves from corner to safety because they play so much man-to-man on the slot. They moved him there to provide leadership, be the quarterback of that secondary.
We should move half the field in 3 plays, and now Book flips it underneath to Armstrong, who breaks a tackle and muscles down for a first and goal.
Well, when you have a crosser like this, it requires communication, and a defense that's going to have their head on a swivel. Watch the defense, and nobody accounts for him. You got linebackers dropping, nobody even picks him up, and then you can see the speed from Armstrong as he gets around the corner, and just like that, Notre Dame, after 4 plays, they've already gone 67 yards inside the 10-yard line.
Armstrong running right, lowers his shoulder down inside the 5.
Something to watch tonight. Chris, you touched on it. Louisville struggled in their last 5 games, allowing over 50 points a game, but they were bad versus the run all year. Over 303 yards per game on the ground in conference play. Dead last in the ACC. That's an area they're very concerned about facing Notre Dame. And you can see the domination in the trenches right now for the Irish.
Jameer Smith takes his turn, reaches for the goal line, touchdown Irish, as they take the opening kickoff 75 yards with very little effort.
Yeah, that time there's actually a defender there. He was there, but he got run through. Tavarius Peterson, 29, actually does a good job of getting penetration. He hits him right there, but he's unable to withstand the power as he goes right through him and into the end zone. They're taking a peek just to make sure he crossed the plane.
Yeah, his knee didn't touch. He was stretching, and did the ball break the plane before the thigh hit? Right. Close. I think the nose of the football was across. And so the Irish begin the season in dominant fashion. And Jonathan Doerer The kicker, who is one of the question marks here this year. He's struggled at times in camp. No problem with that PAT.
6 plays, 75 yards, 5 of the 6 plays on the ground for Brian Kelly. He's got to be excited with the way this thing started. Game. Ian Book drops back to throw. He sees the linebackers clear out, picks up 37 yards. That kind of set the tone for the opening drive. Really, it's the line of scrimmage. That was the only pass of the first drive. Really, Chris, is more about the line of scrimmage and running the football. And the first career touchdown for the sophomore from North Carolina, Jameer Smith. So, Jawan pass in the Louisville offense, as they did so often last year, playing catch up from the start against a pretty stout Notre Dame defense. Ball booted away by Dorr. And at the goal line, stepping in front, Hassan Hall. There was some confusion. Now he's trying to make something of nothing, and the Irish coverage team will swarm him at the 11. So now poor field position for Puma pass. Out of high school, Notre Dame offered him. Everybody wanted this guy. He was a blue chip player. He obviously was the understudy to Lamar Jackson and inherited the pressure of that role, Kirk. Can he take leaps and bounds this year under the new coaching staff? Well, he's going to have to try. 6'4", 240. Last year he was a starter, but in the second week of the season he was replaced by Malik Cunningham, and it was kind of a back and forth the rest of the year. I think it really affected his confidence and belief in himself, and another player that this new staff had to try to bring back up to try to get himself to believe that he can be the quarterback and leader of this team. The handoff inside. This offense will look very different than what you were used to seeing under Bobby Petrino, but the offensive line needs a quantum step forward. They gave up 43 sacks. Mekhi Becton is a future NFL player at left tackle. We'll keep an eye on the matchup with him and these great edge rushers for the Irish. The left side's a strength, right side's a concern. They do have some experience at wide receiver. Look for Fitzpatrick and Dawkins, and also number 1, Tutu Atwell to try to make plays. Atwell, there's a guy that they're undersized and want to get him the ball in space. Hawkins got 2 on first down, and that pass will look for him on the sideline, and it's a nice back shoulder catch made by Sept Dawkins, the veteran of this receiving corps. And look how starved they are for a big play. They're just happy. They go crazy. How about a great effort? Dawkins had strong hands, but I love the placement of the ball on the back shoulder. It gets away from him a little bit. That's a tremendous effort. They might take a peek from the other angle. Right here is a great look at it. I think he got his hand underneath. I think that's a reception. Great effort and a nice throw to get pass settled into this game. Tremendous catch. Exactly the kind of play they needed to spark. Hawkins picks his way. Center steps, has a first down, and dives to the 45. Watch this zone play and watch them get the linebackers and the defensive line on skates going this way. Everybody from Notre Dame is going this way, and they're going to try to find a crease right there. Puts his foot in the ground, is able to cut back and get some good yards. He's a quick guy, obviously, at 182, but also tough, and he runs with a chip on his shoulder, as a lot of undersized backs do. That trips into the boundary here, up at the top. Another run to Hawkins, and unable to really get those blocks on the edge, and there's no gain. Here's the Irish defense, and you look at guys like Julian Okwara and Khalid Kareem, Dalen Hayes. That's formidable. Yeah, they've got some great players in depth up front. The real question is at linebacker. They lose Drew Tranquil and Tavon Coney, 2 leaders. And back end has some experience. Elliott Gilman, both those guys at safety. And Troy Pride takes over for Julian Love into the boundary to be their top corner. Pass flushed. Escapes. He shows his quickness, and his turn to run for a first down to the Notre Dame 43. May have to do a lot of that this year. It does a really good job of showing you. You got to remember, at 6'4", 240, Scott Satterfield prefers a mobile and athletic quarterback to run this system. Now, he wants to run the ball to set up play action. That was my first question, is can Pass be that kind of guy? I said, oh yeah, much better athlete than people realize. Trying to attract the Irish eyes with Tutu Atwell in motion. Drew White and Owusu knocking Hawkins down for a short loss. We talked about the battle of the line of scrimmage on the other side favoring Notre Dame. On paper, you would think, of course, that does on this side of the ball as well with some of the gifted players that they have. That's why Louisville's got to do a good job of trying to tire them out, trying to run sideline to sideline and some quick passes. Play action, and immediately passes flushed, retreating, and just heaves it to the bench. No receiver in the area as Owusu Koromoa came after him. See if they huddle up. Yeah, the big question is, did he get outside of the tackle box? And I think the answer is yes. And then it's a matter of did it get across the line of scrimmage. You can see where the tackle box would be right about there. Can he get to the hash? I think he got outside of the tackle box and is clean.
Benefit the doubt given. He had no intention of trying to complete that. The play was in trouble from the start.
And speaking of being in trouble from the start against this defensive line, this is what you want to avoid is 3rd and long. Oh, they caught him there. Okwara.
That's a great matchup. Okwara against Becton, number 73. Both those guys will be playing on Sundays, and this is those matchups on the edge where you can make some money. You can get on Mel Kiper's
Offside.
highlight tape.
Defense, number 42, 5-yard penalty. Still, 3rd down.
Now, that previous play, what we didn't mention is Owusu getting in. The coaches warned us because we haven't seen a lot of him. They said watch 6, how twitchy and athletic he is, but clearly Okwara up at the top trying to get a quick jump and gives Louisville a much better chance now. A little bit more manageable on 3rd down.
He needs 7. Option look. Pass escapes. Shows his strength as a runner. Finally knocked out inside the 30, but he's twice moved the sticks with his feet.
Boy, this a good job of making a quick decision. Reads the defender. Hayes on the outside, goes outside. Now he just has to avoid the penetration from Kareem. And again, go back to his athletic ability, allowed him to get around 53. And once he did that, because Hayes went quickly to the pitchman, there's nobody in the alley, and he has the speed to pick up the 1st down there on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, 3rd down runs of 11 and now 13 yards. Now they flip it in the flat, and the catch is made on the edge. It's Marshawn Ford, an ex-halfback. They'll move him around as kind of an H-back. Pretty good blocker, too.
This gives you an idea what Satterfield wants to do with this offense. He is trying to read the outside man. Go ahead and with pass and what he tries to do. Watch the outside man commit down. He's reading him, and because the corner pride came down to the quarterback, it's just an option. Just pitches it out and gives him. If he stays wide, he runs the football.
Hawkins picks his way to the corner, sprinting inside the 10 of the Cardinals are marching 1st and goal.
Boy, they are going back into the boundary with some success. We talked about the mismatch maybe up front, but they're running zone plays, not man-to-man blocking or gap scheme. Just getting those big talented defensive linemen who slanted into the boundary and just pushing them and relying on the back's vision and experience and explosiveness to find a crease and hit it.
Yards in chunks, 15 there. Sets him up at the 6. Hawkins picks his way, and he will run into a wall of white jerseys.
Now the question is, this has been such an incredible opening drive for Louisville. Can you close the deal? You get inside this 10-yard line against Notre Dame, and that offense, they cannot afford to settle for field goals on a drive like this. They need touchdowns.
Satterfield calls the plays. He's done so for 17 seasons. Big part of the Appalachian State success was this guy calling plays, and we'll talk about the shocker in the big house that he was a part of.
Yeah. I think you got to roll pass out. You cannot continue to work up the middle. There you go.
Pass is rolling, and he'll roll untouched from the end zone, and Louisville answers.
How's that for an answer?
12 plays, 82 yards. Just when the crowd was thinking, oh no, here we go again.
Right. Showing a little life, fighting back. Something we definitely didn't see from Louisville in the 2nd half of the 2018 season.
Creaky, 4th-year kicker. Very reliable, knocks it through.
Chris, it's the same play they ran earlier. This time it's against man-to-man. So again, the quarterback's reading the defense. He's going to get a block right here, and then you're going to have the quarterback running to the edge. He sees man-to-man and read it with him. What are you going to do? You're going to throw it? No, everybody clears out. There's the alley. Take off and go. Touchdown for the Cardinals.
A great one-handed catch by Dawkins set the table early in the drive, and then the Cardinals on the ground get even at 7 midway 1st quarter. Famous racetrack anywhere is just a short drive away from this football stadium.
Beautiful.
Get you excited about the first week in May already?
Oh man, I can't wait. Love it every year.
Well, the local long shots have answered. They had 4 plays in that touchdown drive, runs of longer than 10 yards. Pass taking it in. Creaky's kick is short and returnable. Moving ahead is Williams, and he's hit hard. That's a pumped up coverage team for Louisville. Book and the offense moved effortlessly for a touchdown of the first possession. Now go back to work.
Chris, watch this effort here. And again, it's a small thing. To me, it's not when you're trying to change a culture. Watch the man who makes the tackle right there. Blows up the block and then blows up the ball carrier or the returner. That is a great job. And he'll be celebrating right there. Blocks, takes on the block and then makes the tackle. That is an example of what the Coach Satterfield and his staff are trying to use as examples to get this team to realize what they're capable of doing.
Tabarius Peterson, backup defensive lineman, covering the kick with speed down there. Now they bring a blitz off the blind side, but Book has pass tipped at the line and falls to the turf. Brian Brown is the fourth defensive coordinator here. In the last 4 years, he came from Appalachian State with Satterfield. He had good defenses there, by the way.
He sure did. Undersized, but very fast. Chris, you're exactly right. Up front, looked like the nose guard who was slanting that time. Looked like Goldwire might have gotten his 90, might have gotten his hand up there to knock that down. That's one way to try to slow down an accurate passer.
Book lofts it far side and over the head of Chase Claypool. It's hard to do that at 6'5", covered by Chandler Jones. It's third down.
Yeah, but if you saw, Ian Book made that throw. He tried to go high to Claypool, who has great length and great catch radius, but he got pressure. They are coming after him. The defensive coordinator, Brian Brown, who you get a look at right there, dialed it up, and as soon as he released the ball, he felt pressure down low at his knees. I think it affected the accuracy.
Crowd is alive and on their feet.
I don't think this stadium has been like this since Lamar Jackson played here.
Cardinals rush 3, drop 8. Book escapes and dives. This time does not have first down yardage. He's short of the 30. So mixing the coverages in that series.
Yeah, they've been showing a lot of pressure. The first two on this series was in his face, coming after him, and gives you an idea what Brian Brown likes to do. He likes to try to confuse quarterbacks. You're thinking pressure. They showed it and they dropped. And I think Ian Book caught off a little bit off guard, and they didn't have an opportunity to convert, and he had to try to pick it up with his feet.
Jay Bramlett is a freshman from Tuscaloosa, kicking a question mark, punting and place kicking for the Irish. Little shaky in the spring, and the first time for Bramlett. He gets a pretty good boot away. And fair catch made at the 25-yard line by Jay Burns, who's one of the best in the country returning punts. So the Cardinals, second possession coming up. What, last 4 games combined?
Last 4 games last year, and already 1 this year.
Pass retreats and fires into the bench. Penetration quickly by the pass rush. Maria?
Well, Chris, we've already seen Juwan pass with 1 touchdown rush, and I talked to Quincy Avery, who's been his quarterback's coach since high school, and he said the biggest difference his coaching staff has made is it's refreshed him. He has a new confidence, and quarterback's coach Frank Ponce said when he looked at Juwan pass in the locker room, it's the first time in his eyes he felt like he was ready to go out and play football, and he's smiling on the sidelines, talking to his teammates. His entire demeanor has changed from a season ago, I'm told.
I also think not running Lamar Jackson's offense helps. You know, that's a big shadow to be the next guy.
The handoff, and Hawkins is swallowed up. Lamar Jackson, by the way, extremely supportive, as pass struggled last year. Benched against Indiana State and Western Kentucky. By the end of the year, he was as low as you can get in terms of quarterback confidence. That's what they had to try to rebuild when Satterfield came in. Positive start, but now it's another third and long.
I thought it was interesting for a guy that was so down. They put him intentionally on some of the leadership groups that they really emphasized to try to pull some of that leadership and confidence out of him.
Irish are very eager, and again, they've come across the line.
Offside. Defense. Number 53. 5-yard penalty.
Same thing as last time. It's 3rd and long. Now you go to 3rd and 5, and you give pass a much better chance. Changes the play call, too.
Some is the other end. Khalid Kareem. Kind of mistakes that Kelly saw all these other teams make and was hoping his team would avoid on their opening night. Just a mental error again on that Irish defensive front. Veteran group.
Remember, they've been working the edge with that option, that read look for pass where he can run it or throw it depending on how the defense responds.
Irish are pressing on the receivers. That's a wrinkle this year. Option look again, and making a cut is Hawkins in the clear. Julian Hawkins finally knocked down inside the Notre Dame 30.
It's a great call on third down, knowing you're going to get man-to-man. You're pitching off of this man right here. Once he makes this pitch to Hawkins, look at the outside, the corner running with the receiver. You don't have to worry about him. It's just making that alley player, the safety, miss, which is exactly what Hawkins does. Outstanding call, knowing what to expect and anticipating it by Scott Satterfield to give Pass a chance there on 3rd and 5.
Hawkins' speed just ran right through the tackle. 44-yard gain. Tutu Atwell heading around the Blazer. Maybe the best football player on the team at 153 pounds out of Miami. That's saying something at this level.
I mean, he gets the ball. He's small, but I'll tell you what, if he's in space, you better leverage the football, because that's exactly what Coach Satterfield wants to do, is whether it's a jet sweep or it's a quick throw, they're just trying to create opportunities for him to be able to use his wiggle to get around people. You see how sudden he is. I mean, it's a blink of an eye. Look at it, 2nd and 1.
High school quarterback, Miami Northwestern, didn't get him nearly enough touches last year, just 24 receptions. Pass, play action, lofting, for the end zone. Atwell bobbled it, incomplete. Could have caught it clean for 6, but he couldn't control the football and was over the end line by the time he had it.
Oh, this could not have been executed any better by Pass. In rhythm, perfect throw over the defensive player, and he's just unable to hold on to it. And it's just one of those things. And you throw that 10 times, he catches it 9 out of 10. Just took his eye off the ball just for a second. Owusu, who's a big outside linebacker, kind of a hybrid guy. Well, maybe, who knows? Maybe he was there. That's definitely worth another look. After he missed it, maybe he gets that foot back down.
But where does he have control? He gets his hand back on it. There.
Oh, whoa. It's still down.
I think the toe is down.
You got to look at that.
They showed the replay. Bob Welch of this ACC crew will take a look at it. If he had control, it was just at the last possible split second, but this may be a touch after all. Bobbled there, still has some control to here, and right there is he squeezing the ball.
Oh, boy.
Is the toe down.
We'll let Dave Kataya come in.
Dave Kataya, busy weekend, our rules expert in the booth. What are they looking at,
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Dave. What do you think of this one?
Okay, the rule is he's got to possess and control the ball with that foot down. Right there, you see that back foot down. Now let's see what happens with the ball.
Ooh.
That ball is still, it's so close. I don't think they're going to be able to overturn this.
Yeah, the left hand, the ball moved back to the right hand right there. But he's still, boy, it's a blink of an eye.
It's a blink of an eye.
In real time, it's just almost impossible to call.
Yeah, you can't call that.
I just don't think they have enough to reverse it, in my opinion. It's close. We'll see what they say.
Yeah.
Indisputable video evidence that he had control when the toe was down. That's what they're looking at.
I just want to go back and brag on Pass's throw. I mean, that was beautiful for a guy that we keep talking about. He had lost his confidence, and he gets this new offense. They're trying to make him more of a leader. Watch how he keeps the safety in the middle instead of working over towards the receivers. He's got to be able to keep the safety right there and then get the ball, throw it on a line right over the defender. Owusu is exactly what he did.
The ruling on the field stands.
There you go.
So not confirmed, but stands. It'll be 3rd and 1.
And I think what Dave said is exactly right. I mean, it was a blink of an eye, and because the ball moved from his left hand back to his right, even though he had his toe down, I just don't know if for even the replay booth to slow it down frame by frame, if you could be able to say that he definitely had possession as he had a toe down.
You can't. It has to be in real time.
Right.
You can't slow it down frame by frame.
Okay, good. Good stuff, Dave.
Atwell, unfortunate for him because he's a sure-handed guy, and that was an opportunity to make a monster play. Drive alive still, though, at 3rd and 1. It's Atwell in motion. They feed. Oh, pass keeps it. It takes off. And will score for a second time untouched. For a quarterback who was beaten down physically abused by the pass rush as low as you can get. Kirk, what a start for this season opener.
Yeah, but also a great, not just a great start by pass in these 2 possessions, but a really good job of getting some help from his playmakers. And how about the offensive line in this new system against a very talented Notre Dame defensive line? So the play, everything's working. The play calling, the quarterback play, the skill, the offensive line. If you're a Louisville fan, you got to be fired up. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
The Wingfoot 1 with the blimp cast. You check it out on the ESPN app. A lot more chilled there than the folks in the stadium are right now. They are revved up. I think they're stunned, pleasantly stunned to see the offense. 2 long touchdown drives just running through this vaunted Notre Dame defense. And the Irish went 3 and out last time they had the football.
Well, this is where you're very lucky to have a quarterback like Ian Book, because this is a hostile environment all of a sudden, and he's got to try to go out and settle this offense down.
Jones has a crease. He shows his running strength for 8 yards on first down. Rajay Burns tackled him.
Remember, that opening drive for Notre Dame was 6 plays, 5 runs, and they just went right down the field, with the exception of 1 pass for some good yards. But they just controlled the line of scrimmage and pretty much did whatever they wanted to do.
Now it's Jones again, makes a cut. He'll have a first down, still spinning and twisting across the 40-yard line.
You could have driven a truck or a bus through that hole. I mean, they are opening up, dominating the line of scrimmage, and there's no reason for Notre Dame to feel early in a game like this, as they know with Brian Kelly and Chip Long and Ian Book, just keep doing what they do.
First down play action. Book took a peek downfield. Now he's trying to buy some time and will just fire it into the bench. Pressured by Dorian Etheridge, the smart leader of that Louisville defense.
You run the ball. That's what Brian Kelly wants to do with Chip Long. Run the ball, and then set up their play action game. But after 2 really good runs, you'd think you get the safeties out of position, but they were anticipating a play action look, and he had nobody open downfield. All he could do was throw it away.
Book, who set the Notre Dame record, 68.2 completion last year, just 1 of 4 right now. On second down, it's Jones hurdling some traffic and makes his own crease and barrels down inside the 45 as the ground game continues to churn away.
Yeah, this power game, you're going to follow Tommy Kramer. Follow Tommy Kramer, the right guard. He's going to come around and just kind of lead the way. When you have big linemen that can move around and just bury defenders, don't forget about setting the edge. He's just going to get underneath of that edge and have a lot of room to run.
Louisville running some fresh guys on the defensive front here. Smith is the back. Book looking to throw and gets it out short. Lawrence Keys, one of the young playmakers that Brian Kelly is eager to see in action for the first time tonight.
Yeah, we keep talking about some of the new playmakers with Miles Boyking moving on, and Komet, the big tight end, who's got to replace Mack. And so you're looking at guys like Keys. We know about Fink and we know about Claypool, but I think Notre Dame fans are anxious to see what 13 can do with that great speed.
Komet and Michael Young both out with collarbone fractures. On second down, Book is pressured. He'll be sacked off the edge. Burns, the former Ohio State Buckeye, came on the blitz.
I'm a little bit surprised with Book. He locked in on Claypool to his left. He's looking here, but he should have been able to work back to his right. Watch him look initially to the left, but look at the right, the tight end, the receivers. Nobody even lined up opposite of Keys in the slot. Just a kind of a. He was so intent on getting the ball into the boundary in a one-on-one matchup that he forgot to look over to his right, where he had open receivers. Even before the snap, you could see it.
3rd and 13. Gotta hurry. Did he get it off in time?
No. Timeout.
He had to take a timeout. Play clock was winding down. Visitors' offenses did not often have to deal with crowd noise last year, to say the least. It's a defense, Kirk, that had 11 sacks all of last year. That was a rare thing, what we just saw. And you wonder, if you're calling plays, Chip Long and Brian Kelly combining, why are you going away from the running game at all? They haven't come close to stopping the running game. There's a first down throw there. They kind of broke the rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have 10 carries, 93 yards. You're averaging 9 yards a carry running the football. But as soon as they tried to mix in play action, it seems like they got behind the sticks, and they're playing a little bit of catch up on this series. But now they're 3rd and long. If you're Louisville, you got to keep trying to mix the looks up. You know, they've been blitzing, looks like rushing 3 and dropping 8 now, trying to keep all eyes on the football in case there's a short throw. They don't want to give any yards up after the catch.
There's only 3 guys within 12 yards of the line of scrimmage. Handoff inside, and there's a busted tackle, but Tony Jones is going down the sidelines, and he'll be shoved out at the 10. They may not need to throw the football tonight.
Well, they had 3 down, and they were showing that they're dropping 8. I mean, they were way back. Watch the linemen. They come off the ball. They have nobody to block. I mean, it wasn't 3rd and 20. It was 3rd and 13, and linemen are 10, 15 yards downfield before they got to pick anybody up.
Hit immediately in the backfield. It was good penetration there by G.G. Robinson, that big nose tackle out of Georgia.
I couldn't tell if Ian Book wanted to pull that ball and try to get around the edge. They'll, you know, we talk about Louisville's option game, but Notre Dame also likes to do that with Ian Book, especially when they get down here. He is a run threat with his legs.
Final minute of the first quarter. Jones again turns the corner and barrels in, and the Irish answer right back with their ground game. Blocks from Kramer and Hainsey on the right side.
I think we just heard Brian Kelly on the headset with Chip Long. We are running the rest of the game until they stop it.
Yeah.
Let's run the football.
You like to play poke. Don't switch a winning hand.
Oh, 10 yards a carry.
Prove they can stop you.
10 yards a carry. Keep running it. Tommy Kramer that time with a really nice block.
Jones already with 87 yards in his 7 carries. And Dorr ties the game. We've had 4 long touchdown drives, 2 by each team, all of them really using the ground game.
Watch the right side of the offensive line. I think Kramer this time gets involved in coming out to help, and then helps kind of seal the edge as Hainsey makes a block to the outside. Watch the right guard. He's having a heck of a drive here. He gets outside, then he climbs up, just kind of sets that edge there to allow the back Jones to cut back into the middle. You don't always have to get outside. Sometimes you get inside there. It's a good job of the linemen turning their backs to the hole, and there's just nobody there at the second level to be able to take on Jones.
That quiets the delirious crowd here, although Kelly going to have a lot of concerns about defense. What we've seen in this first quarter with Louisville gaining 120 rushing yards, just moving the ball with this new look offense that Satterfield has been using so successfully at Appalachian State for a long time.
Yeah, it requires the quarterback to make great throws, but it really starts with his ability to run the ball and make quick decisions, which pass in a few drives has done exactly what Coach Satterfield would hope he would be able to do. He looks great.
Dorr's boot will push Hassan Hall to the end zone, and with moments hesitation he'll bring it out. And he is hammered across the 25-yard line. It's a good special teams tackle there by Owusu. Saturday, college football doubleheader on ABC and the ESPN have 2 really good ones. Number 1 Clemson hosting Texas A&M, Dabo and Jimbo in Death Valley at 3:30 Eastern. And then LSU taking on Texas, a top 10 matchup in Austin. Longhorns with some serious running back injury concerns. There'll be a lot on Sam Ehlinger's plate.
And Sam not only throwing but obviously running. And how about Joe Burrow? Looked outstanding, and he comes in with a lot of confidence. I think he had 5 touchdown passes in the opening game.
Got to hurry here, and they will have to spend a timeout. The play clock was at 2. We've seen a lot of that early in the season. Potential delay of games, timeouts taken off a stoppage of play.
Week 1, my friend.
I get it. Hey, listen, this team has executed pretty well in week 1. No penalties yet for Louisville. Discipline, attention to detail, accountability, all the words that new coaches throw around when they inherit a losing situation. And it's been a promising start for them. They got work to do on the defensive side. That's obvious. The pass looks like a different quarterback.
Sure does. He seems to really pick this offense up, and You know, I knew he could throw the ball. I wondered how he would fit in running the football, and obviously showing us and the coaches a lot throughout the summer. He's doing a great job here in these first couple series.
He's going to roll out. He's got some space, but he flips it short, and it's dropped. Tried to get a crossing route there, and it's incomplete. You know, Malik Cunningham was their leading rusher last year, the backup quarterback who's out injured, hurt himself in camp, and he's another electric type ball carrier from the quarterback position. Absolutely. He could play a role in this offense.
He could as the season goes on. I think tonight he might be more of an emergency role. I think Notre Dame trying to make some adjustments with Clark Lee. They're moving in different personnel at linebacker right now. Shane Simon is in the game along with Drew White at linebacker. See if they continue to play a ton of man-to-man the way they have these first two possessions, or they drop the zone.
Quarterback keeper again. Gets a block from Atwell, and an excellent tackle on the edge made by Sean Crawford, who sat out with an Achilles injury last year, part of a very good group of Irish safeties.
Well, they're deep at safety, and Crawford has an ability where you can play corner, you can play nickel.
ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Capital One. These teams combining for 260 rushing yards in the first quarter. Louisville was a disaster on third down last year, but made all 3 conversions so far tonight. They need 8.
Well, if I'm pass, I'm looking back into the boundary in the slot, looking for Dawkins right here.
He's looking instead to the flat, an inaccurate pass in front of Javian Hawkins. So
yeah, they showed blitz, fell out of it, and Lamb was able to get out there. Even if they completed that play, didn't have much of a chance at all.
So Mason King, 4th-year punter, is out there. And you're going to see Chris Fink for the Irish. Got a number of return options. They send out the reliable grad from Dayton. King very often boot him high, forces a lot of fair catches. It's a high boot, but Fink is going to give it a go, and he'll be swarmed under right there. Excellent coverage as the gunner flies down and makes the play. Russ Yeast.
Well, that's how you get down and make a play. Fink has a chance. If you give him room, he can get around you. But Yeast, who starts, we mentioned he was a corner last year, moved to safety, very comfortable making a tackle. Love to see when starters get involved in special teams, and he just outworked the blocker to try to get around him and made the play.
And net 54, 52-yard punt. Lost a couple on the return.
Now Notre Dame's defense has made some adjustments. They were able to get off the field. Let's see if Louisville can do a better job of defending the physicality in the run game.
It's a first down throw and a drop in the flat. Karen Williams came out of the backfield and couldn't hang on. So when they've tried to throw on first down, it hasn't been successful.
Yeah, I think he just young back who just got his eyes upfield, trying to see where he might want to go before he's able to hold on to the ball. So he goes out. Smith comes in.
Smith has it, and he hammers straight ahead. I think the forward pass, he put that on the shelf for a while. I mean, they're gaining 10, 12 yards a carry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they're going to continue to run, and eventually what they're going to try to do is get Louisville to overcommit. Then they can look for the big play downfield. But for now, they're just looking to use these linemen. That time they had the right guard and the right tackle pull around, and they're such big bodies. Remember, this is an undersized front from Louisville, and these backs are hiding behind those big shoulders of those linemen.
Cook keeps it, and he'll gallop to the edge for about 4.
That's just to remind them 12 is going to pull it once in a while. It's like old Andrew Luck at Stanford when he every once in a while would just do enough to remind you that he can keep it and pull it and pick up 10 or 15 yards. Book's the same way to keep the edge of the defense off of collapsing down on the backs.
They gained almost 400 rushing yards last year before you factor in the sacks, and scored 4 touchdowns. 2nd and 7. Book straight back, fires sidelines, and the catch is made by McKinley, and he's knocked out on the far sidelines.
Good size, 6'2", 220. They're sitting back. Louisville just sitting back fearful of these receivers potentially going by them. Actually lost his footing there and made it pretty easy for Ian Book. Kind of pitch and catch when you're dropping back at 8 yards and giving them those underneath throws. Louisville just feels like they're trying to keep the ball in front of them, don't they?
Book again scrambling around. He'll be sacked for a loss of 4 on first down. Second sack tonight.
Well, that time they showed blitz and actually brought the linebacker Etheridge, 17, comes up the middle. You could see the surge from the middle of that offensive line. That's what forced Book to have to get outside. It's one thing to get pressure on the edges. Quarterback can step up, climb in the pocket. When that pressure comes up the middle, Book's trying to get out. Louisville does a nice job that time, mixing it up.
2nd and 14, a play action throw across the middle and going back is Claypool. Nice hands catch, and it's a first down inside the Louisville 45.
Yeah, we keep talking about Claypool with his catch radius 6'5". What he can do with Boykin moving on, Miles Boykin moving on, he becomes that go-to receiver into the boundaries. Got to win one-on-one for them and be able to go up and make plays. That time goes in on a slant and makes a nice catch, nice adjustment to the ball behind him.
Smith running left. Yeah, he had a tremendous camp. Chase Claypool really could not be contained by the Irish defense, and that's why there's such optimism that he's going to have a monster senior season. Had 50 catches last year.
Yeah, they really leaned on him, knowing that you know they've lost some people, and it's time for him to take that next step. Really grew up a basketball player, growing up in Canada. That was his sport. Still learning the game. And Chip Long said, as you said, Chris, had a great camp and starting to kind of pick up some of the nuances of the position.
We'll rotate backs, and Sibo Flemister is now to the left of Book. Goes out in the flat. Book fires short. Just sitting down on the route and making a short catch is Claypool. Big body, easy to box out a guy.
Sure.
That big.
Yeah, it's great. Quarterbacks love throwing to
hoops player, you said, right?
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Quarterbacks love throwing to big bodies like that because it's for they can forgive you with that catch radius if you throw it like the one he threw behind him. Claypool adjusted to it, but they were not able to pick up the first down, so it sets up to 3rd and 2 here.
Jones is back in the game. Shift 2 tight ends to the right side, and they'll run it that way. But Jones is going to be stacked up, fighting, but he will not get there. The Cardinals swarm him for a loss. Nick Okeke got there first. How about Brian Brown's defense making a stand? We didn't see much of that last year.
Brian Brown fired up. He wants his linebackers to play downhill. Well, obviously on 3rd and 2 you're going to do that, but every once in a while this undersized Louisville defense is able to shoot a gap and get a good push, and the linebackers blitzing helped them there.
Kelly going for it. They need 4.5 yards. Got to get inside the Louisville 35 on 4th down. Jones motioning in. 3-man rush. Book has time. Flips it underneath. Catch made. No first down. Low throw. Fink got it, but didn't go far enough. And Louisville takes over.
Chris, that's how important throwing an accurate ball is. Throws this ball low. Fink goes down to make the catch. If he throws it where he can make a play on it and do something after the catch, it's a first down. 4th and 4. They go with a mesh route, meaning crossers. Look at Book, off balance, kind of short arms it, maybe feeling the pressure on 4th down. An accurate throw there hits him in the chest. He turns and picks up another 3 or 4 yards and picks up a first down. That's how important accuracy is for quarterbacks.
Irish had 3rd and 2 and somehow could not move the stick. So Louisville takes over at the 36.
The way they've been running the ball, think of that.
Pass straight back, pressured, and delivers a looping throw that's over the head of Tutu Atwell. They got a one-on-one matchup, but just enough pressure to make an off-target throw.
See, I think when they had their success, they were working the edges of the Notre Dame defense. They were moving pass around, giving him some options to run and to throw. If I'm Coach Satterfield, I'd get back into that groove, find that rhythm of giving past the edge of running where he's been dynamic, or if Notre Dame takes him away, you have the option to throw the ball.
2nd and 10. Hassan Hall breaks the tackle, and he busts it into Notre Dame territory. The Louisville ground game has been on fire.
Well, here's a superstar freshman, Hamilton, right here playing free safety, coming in trying to make a play. But look how quickly Hawkins hits that hole, goes right by him with speed, or Hall rather, goes right by him with that speed. But 14, the true freshman, Hamilton, was there. I think he underestimated how quickly he was going to run downhill.
Now, cutback run. You can't come out of a camp into your true freshman year with more hype than Kyle Hamilton did.
Sure did. A couple of the scrimmages, I think one of them he had 3 interceptions, and there was a big buzz about him after that. Of course, anytime you get on campus, you have a couple, 3 interceptions. And next time I think he had 2 interceptions, and everybody started to talk about, how about this freshman, Kyle Hamilton? So he's on the field game 1 trying to make plays.
Rare athlete, 6'4", very fluid, very fast. Should have a good career, but bound to be a transition from high school to college ball, no matter how good you were at that level. 2nd and 7. Pass from the pocket. Looks back and has a man. And now closing to break up the play nicely is Hamilton.
Yep. They talk about his range and his instincts. And how many times do you see freshmen, by the way, that play safety, any safety at any age, playing that's 6'4"? But he does a good job of keeping his eyes on the ball, looking around. Look at his head's on a swivel, sees Fitzpatrick leak out, and then he shows you the range to be able to make the play on that. Again, most safeties against spreads that they see, most coaches have gone to that undersized, quicker safety that's really more of a corner at 6 feet, about 190 pounds. He's 6'4" out there showing range.
Pass 0 for his last 5. Now in 3rd and 7, delivers incomplete again, right into traffic. They're trying to find Atwell, but Tariq Bracey broke it up, and it's 4th down.
And that's just great coaching by Clark Lee. Bracey knowing that it's 3rd down, and he knows to anticipate a throw at about 6, 7, 8 yards, so he's up tight to be there to be able to knock that ball away. They know the ball with the pass rush has to come quickly. In fact, Brian Kelly told us, hey, we're going to tighten up coverage, not just this game, all year. Because of our pass rush, we know people want to get
down the fans and get out there. Maria, what's the mood on the Notre Dame sideline?
I got to tell you, Chris, it's very frustrated down here. And the offense, Jafar Armstrong, running back, was talking to his team about just tightening up and being a little bit more disciplined. I also saw Cole Kmet. Remember, he's the tight end that's out with the collarbone injury. He's going back and forth between offensive line, wide receivers, trying to talk through some of those frustrations and build some more confidence here in this series.
They should feel confident in the running game. They've had no problem creating creases with the run. And Book instead going to throw it short. Claypool bouncing off people. It's about an 8-yard gain.
Notre Dame's giving them a little bit of their own medicine with a run-pass option. Good read there. It's Kmet. He's their starting tight end, out tonight, but still involved, as Maria just said, trying to fire the troops up.
Really need him back for the Georgia game. They expect to have him back for that huge road game. Book pulls it, takes a pop, loses the football. Ball pops in the air, and Smith recovers the fumble for Notre Dame. A hard hit right along the sideline, but the Irish keep the football.
It looked like Connie Pass, I think, came up and made the hit. 30. Comes up, puts his helmet right on the ball. The Book might go down or get out of bounds. Boom! Ball gets hit. The helmet on the ball knocks it straight up. Great hit. Experienced veteran by Pass. The senior does a nice job.
Stacked up is Smith. 3rd and short after the fumble recovery, and the Louisville defense rises up again.
They're basically in a tight, almost like a goal line short yardage defense. Pass, who made the play in the previous play, I think actually got the penetration again. He goes between the right guard and the center and makes Smith have to get off his course and cut back to the left. So Pass 30 got penetration there on 3rd down and short. 2nd time in a row Louisville's to be able to come up with a big play.
It's incredible. Irish feeling great about the running game, but back-to-back stout plays and stout series by this Louisville defense. And there's Bramblett, and they were concerned about this. It's a shank. Not going to work out that badly because it rolls sideways and out of bounds. And there is a flag on the field. Ball spotted at the Louisville 36, and now we'll check the flag. Little bit shaky in the spring game. Bramblett was the freshman replacing Tyler Newsome, who's a terrific punter. The kicker, Dora, replacing Justin Yoon, who's the all-time leading scorer at Notre Dame.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 95, 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down. Timeout.
Kick didn't work out bad. Ended up being a 41-yarder. Now they'll back it up more for the hold.
But as again, big third down stop by Louisville. Pass is a safety up as a linebacker. Is able to shoot through the right side there between the center and the guard. That affects Smith to have to cut back, and there's the rest of that Louisville defense.
Cardinals in game 1 of the Scott Satterfield era hanging right with the 9th-ranked team. After forcing the punt, they take over at the 26. And Tutu Atwell around the edge. The Blazer from Miami in space was just stopped at the 40. Saved a monster gain there. Jalen Elliott.
We were kind of talking in the previous series what you might see them do. And I keep saying, get to the perimeter. Get the ball on the edge. Get your speed in space and force the Notre Dame secondary and the edge of this defense to have to make tackles. And if they do it for 4 quarters, so be it. But that is a great thing for them to go back to, whether it's pass on the edge or getting Tutu Atwell out there on the outside or quick passes on the edge.
Comes in motion this side. Eyes go to him. A couple of flags down as Hawkins is dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a chop block on Louisville.
Spotted from 2 different angles by this ACC crew.
The center locked up with a nose guard, and then left guard submarined him.
It's TJ McCoy, number 59.
Personal foul. Illegal chop block. Offense. Number 55 and 59. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's a kind of major penalty that this offense is going to have a hard time recovering from. There it is.
Yep.
They cut down Hinish.
And right after a big play, this offense is predicated upon momentum and attacking, and they get a big play, and all of a sudden they're about to start to create some tempo, and boom, you go back 15 yards.
Few offenses are built for 1st and 25.
No, it's true. But this offense with a new coaching staff and a team that just was awful last year, anytime you get a first down, you want tempo, you want to attack, and really kills that momentum.
Pass. Took a look over the middle and has nowhere to go and is going to be dropped for a short loss there. Drew White, the middle linebacker, stopped him.
Great job by Notre Dame. Discipline that time. He wanted to go off to his right. He had a nice post, but it was taken away by the safety and a corner double team, and they didn't have anywhere to go with his check down. Watch the safety back here. He's looking right. He wants to try to throw it in there, but typically you have a check down or you have an answer. That time it was all or nothing, either the post or nothing, and Notre Dame had it leveraged with 2 defenders, nowhere to go with the ball.
Right about the penalty now, if you're Satterfield, you just hope Juwan Pass doesn't press here. You don't want to make the kind of mistake that would give the Irish the football in good territory. 2nd and a mile from the pocket. He flips it short. That's White. Broke it up. So tackle for loss, and now the big man covering a little guy in space makes a play.
And Drew White, we keep talking about Drew Tranquil, a veteran leader, Tavon Coney. These guys aren't here. They're trying to find out if Drew White's going to be the guy. Physical guy, but can be athletic. We've seen Jack Lamb get his opportunities. Shane Simon has been there. Bill All's been in there. So they're rotating different bodies to see who's going to emerge and become the 2 linebackers that they need this year.
On 3rd and 27, Hassan Hall slips the tackle on the backfield and accelerates. He'll get some of the yardage back, but the punt team will come out. Gilman stopped him at the 36.
One thing you're never going to accuse Hall of is not accelerating through contact. I mean, he puts his foot down and it goes right into the teeth of the defense.
Yeah, runs a 4.3, they say. Got nice hands. Was the 2nd leading rusher last year. Actually, the top tailback rusher. Again, it was Malik Cunningham, the quarterback, that led the team. Fink back deep. Mason King gets a high boot away. It's a typical punt for him, and Fink makes the fair catch at the 29-yard line. So Ian Book and the offense. 4:36 before halftime as the Irish try to reclaim the lead. From their vantage point, the Goodyear Blimp cast on the ESPN app and ESPN3. A nice night for flying. They look very chilled. It looks like they're just kind of telling stories there. See if this offense from Notre Dame can get some rhythm back. 2 very successful ground-based touchdown drives. Not as successful when they tried to throw the ball on early downs. Jameer Smith is the back. And he's got it running right. And that's one of the better jobs they've done stopping a first down run. They were averaging over 9 yards a carry on first down, but G.G. Robinson made the tackle.
Chris, watch this play by G.G. Robinson, nose guard. Shows you his athletic ability, being able to get off of the block by Jarrett Patterson. Look at that. That's impressive. That's one of the benefits of being undersized, but having quickness, getting off of blocks, and being able to chase down a ball carrier.
Smith again stopped. G.G., the son of Gerald, who played 8 years in the NFL, and he needs to cause havoc. They want him to cause havoc this year.
This defense is built by Brian Brown, who's a defensive coordinator here at Louisville. The defensive line is supposed to not just cause havoc, eat up the offensive line. Don't let them, with movement, don't let them get up to the linebackers. The defense is built for the linebackers to make all the plays.
Irish just 1 of 4 on third down, need 8. Book steps up, flushed out, and he'll be tackled. Not able to hang in the pocket, Kirk, and show that presence and make a play. Got run out of there, and Etheridge ran him down.
They did a nice job of this time spying him. Etheridge is right here. Watch him clear and then come back. Now he's in position to be able to take Book down. Earlier in this game, we saw Book take off. Nobody was there. They had their backs to him. This time, great adjustment and awareness by the linebacker Etheridge on third down to realize Book is a threat and to take him away.
This Louisville defense doing an excellent job on third and fourth down tonight. Third, 3 and out by the Irish. That equals the total that Louisville forced in the last 4 games of the season. Did not see that coming. Burns makes the fair catch, and now with 2:49 before halftime, Cardinals go back to work. Not very good field position.
If you just tuned in, you got to give Notre Dame's defense a lot of credit with Clark Lee, because the first 2 series, Louisville went right down the field and was able to make some plays, and since then that has not been the case. Notre Dame's made adjustments, doing a much better job. I think all in all they have 10 plays and only 44 yards, so not as much man-to-man. They don't look as lost. Look at the first 2 drives. 88 yards touchdown, 75 yards and a touchdown, and then the 3 punts.
Chop block penalty ruined the last drive. Here's a first down run for Hall, and he's going to be knocked down right at the line.
Now you're Scott Satterfield, and you're looking at that scoreboard, and it's 14-14, 2:30 to go. Notre Dame with a couple timeouts. You're probably thinking there's nothing wrong with working a little clock here and trying to just kind of be okay with it to be 14-14 at half.
I agree. They'll get the football to begin the second half, and I think they'd be thrilled to be even at the break.
He's seeing this right here. It's hard count to show Gilman tip his hand.
Pass keeps it, and he's going to be slammed down. Gilman, the safety, was in the box. The aggressive Hawaiian hard hitter.
I mean, if you're going to recognize it, you don't want to go to a play where he's going to actually hit you and make a play. Gilman showed he was blitzing and still makes the play. They knew he was coming. Boy, Gilman's an aggressive player, veteran guy. Last year became really part of the glue of the Notre Dame defense late in that year.
One of my favorite guys to talk to and to watch play. Comes from a small town, North Shore of Oahu. I just want him to be healthy the entire season, because he flies around and he can injure himself.
He and Jalen Elliott give him veteran leadership in the back end of the defense.
Cardinals another third and long pass, gave a peek downfield, then takes off, and he's going to get nowhere near the marker. Knocked down at the 26. And the Irish say they have the football. Aquara comes out of it. Is it the first turnover?
Well, you know, the young man we were just talking about, Gilman, was the one that got his hand on the football.
They're talking about this. Still have not signaled. No.
Well, watch pass change. Oh, boy, they're going to take a peek at that. The only chance he has of that not being a fumble is if his right knee was down.
And there was a clear and immediate recovery made by Gilman there. Ball is knocked out. Looks well out before he hits the ground.
I think it's out. I think Gilman's right. He changed hands with the ball. There's Gilman's left hand ripping at it. I think that ball's out.
And again, this can be fixed by replay because the ball was immediately covered by Notre Dame.
Gilman knocked it loose and recovered it.
What a heck of a series
right on
for
cue.
this guy. Yeah.
Watch pass change hands with the football. You know, and he's in traffic. Watch him on this draw. Ball's in the right hand. Now it's in the left hand. He's using that right hand as kind of a weapon. But in doing that, he's doing it around 3 different white jerseys.
And then the spin move, too, on top of it.
Yeah.
Ball is out there. We're going to hone in on the knee. It's another one of those bang-bang plays that we had a call of no touchdown, incomplete stand earlier in a similar kind of play. Dave Kataya, what do you see as you check out what Bob Welch in the replay booth is looking at?
As you say, anything other than the hand or foot, he's down. Now that knee goes down, but to me it looks like that ball's moving before that knee goes down.
And for the fans, the ball moving, would that be recognized for the replay booth as the ball being loose or a fumble?
What it's called is independent ball movement. Take a look at it here. And here you go. All right, see that? See the ball moving right now?
Right there.
All right. To me, that knee's, I can't see the other knee, but the other knee looks like it's on a player. Yeah. So that ball's moving.
Once it's moving, if the knee's up, it's considered a fumble?
Once that ball is moving on its own, no control, it's already started the process of a fumble.
Okay. Then it's a fumble.
Yeah, based on that, the ball is out.
Right there, you can see it.
His knee's clearly out. That's Notre Dame's ball.
Had not been a turnover tonight until that one, and that would be monster, because as well as Louisville has played, the defense has stepped up here. Notre Dame would be set up in scoring position here with 1:17 and 1 timeout.
You know, as Chris said also, it's very important that we have a recovery in the immediate and continuing action, where replay can definitely see who has the ball, and there's no question they can see who has the ball here.
Yeah. Heck of a play by Gilman. He knocked it loose and he recovered it. At this point, they're just trying to figure out, more than likely, where to put the ball, the time on the clock, getting all that, make sure they're set to go before you would think Notre Dame's going to take the possession here about the 26-yard line.
Dwayne Haight, experienced ACC referee, communicating with Bob Welch in the booth. Always ACC officials involved when Notre Dame plays the schools in this conference, as they do with their long-term agreement.
Other than this potential turnover, pretty even first half. Look, not just the score, but pretty much across the board with the stats, the numbers.
Here comes the verdict.
After review, the ball came loose prior to the ball carrier touching the ground. It'll be Notre Dame football, first down. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 20 seconds.
The senior from Hawaii, Gilman, makes the forced fumble and then recovers it. And Notre Dame, a chance to reclaim the lead, ball at the 26-yard line.
You need your veterans to make plays, your leaders to make plays, especially in tight games on the road. Gilman has provided Ian Book with the field position with 1:20 to go here in his first half. Sudden change. See if Book takes maybe a shot, or if they continue to try to run the ball with the way their offensive line is played.
Big cushion for the slot receiver. Yep. Claypool's to the right here. One-on-one matchup. And it is a play-action throw. Or is it? Buck loses the football. A scrum as they dive for it at the 25. And the Cardinals have reclaimed it. A monster takeaway. Dorian Etheridge, the veteran on the Louisville side, makes the recovery.
Yeah, and he actually ran into the back of Brock Wright, his tight end. That's what caused the fumble. I'm surprised to see Ian Book not take off and go to the left. For some reason he cuts back, he runs right into the tight end, and the ball comes out. It's a scrum, and Louisville flying to the football comes up with it. And I cannot say enough what a difference Louisville is from last year to this year. This is a team that flat out quit the last 5 games of the year last year, gave up over 50 a game, and now their backs against the wall here at the end of the first half. In the first game with a new head coach, they come up with a stop here, and of course Ian Book helped them with a fumble.
Ryan Brown asked the defense, what do you want your identity to be? And they said mob. He said, what's that? Men over boys. It means we want to grow up, be accountable, be mature. And this group has shown huge. And now another fumble. Notre Dame's got the ball back. Back-to-back fumbles. It's Jack Lamb who fell on it. You got to be kidding.
I don't think the snap ever got up to Juwan pass. You know, it was low, and I don't think he ever secured the football. You see Brian Kelly challenging Ian Book, challenging him to get points here after what happened on that last possession when he fumbled. But yeah, I don't think Pass got the ball though. I don't think it got up to him. Let's see. Well, it's low. He could have been able to hold on to that, but he never grasped it. Notre Dame jumps on top of it.
You're right. Not often as a quarterback do you get an immediate chance to redeem yourself for a fumble. Book has the chance right here from the 20. They have 2 timeouts. Jones is the back. Another keeper. Book trying to redeem himself right now. How about that? They let the quarterback who just bumped into the tight end and kind of self-fumbled carry the ball in the next play.
Right, and we keep telling you that you get used to the backs holding it on that zone read look. Book is athletic enough to be able to keep it, and you're right. How about Brian Kelly and Chip Long? That's the trust you have in a guy that's been there and done that. Even though he makes a mistake, you go right back to him.
First and goal. Jones trying to bounce it, now cut it back into traffic, and he'll be knocked down at the 6.
Still 2 timeouts. No urgency at this point at all for Ian Book.
This Louisville defense has been incredibly impressive, but one more test to try to keep the Irish out of the end zone before halftime. Play action. Book looking for the end zone, lofts it high and way over the head of the tight end, Brock Wright.
Well, that was great coverage by Louisville, staying back and being in position. He tried to really bait him with handing that, showing that handoff here. Watch the secondary do a good job of showing discipline and staying back. Ray J. Burns, nice job of staying with a big tight end. Nobody open, just throws it over top.
3rd and goal. Jones in motion. And now a flag. Pre-snap, false start. The Irish will be backed up to the 11 now.
And the loudest part of this stadium right now. Eichenberg, the left tackle, moved, anticipating the count.
Offense, number 74, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
He's sitting in there waiting and waiting for that clap. Snap the ball. Watch him on the far right. He just twitched just enough. Hard for those tackles on the road.
He was fighting to keep his balance, then he knew it. His offshoot.
Yeah.
Another undisciplined penalty, though, from a veteran guy.
They've been pressuring him on 3rd down, doing a pretty good job the last few possessions, winning it at the line of scrimmage with quickness.
Jones in motion. Book looked that way. Now he'll keep it. Cut back and score. So a measure of redemption for the Irish quarterback, and they take the lead.
They had done such a good job of spying him since the first play of the game, and this time they clear out and give Book credit. He knew all along that he had that option to take off and run. Nobody accounts for him, and he has the speed to make Louisville's defense pay for it. C.J. Avery late in getting there.
So the back-to-back fumbles, with Notre Dame getting the final takeaway. It's a short 20-yard touchdown drive in 4 plays. And the Irish are going to go to the halftime locker room up by a touchdown.
Huge.
Crazy sequence here. First of all, pass takes off. Gilman's going to knock the ball free. This was a fumble awarded correctly after a replay review, and then Book bumps into the tight end. He loses the football. The Cardinals think they've made a huge stand here. They got momentum, and then the fumble right back by pass on the next play.
And then watch how the quarterback pump fakes to get the defense over. A big pump fake, moves the defense. Nobody there, nobody spying him. Speed to the end zone for the touchdown.
Look, that feels pretty good because he thought maybe he had cost his team 7 points by bumping into the tight end.
Love to see Brian Kelly. Love to see coaches anytime the quarterback has something bad happen or good happen. He comes over and he's teaching. You know, he's always coaching. Even though this is a veteran guy now, still trying to help him with what he's seeing from the Louisville defense.
Book got in the weight room, added some muscle in the offseason to be a more physical runner. Has been a pretty quick guy. It's a short boot from Dorr, and it's going to bounce, and they got to be covered right there. A little urgency as the Cardinals finally do fall on the ball at the 16 with 17 seconds to go. So we got Marty and McGee in the blimp. We also got the Xfinity Skycam providing alternative angle coverage on the ESPN app. We'll still get our commentary on there, but you got lots of options. So now, given all this stuff, Kirk, I'd be a little surprised if they didn't play it really safe here in the final play.
Take a knee, call it a day, call it a half.
But still a deflating way after a very buoyant,
for Louisville,
enthusiastic start for Louisville. A deflating way to head to the locker room after creating the takeaway. They give it right back, and Book gives the Irish the lead. Hall creates a little burst, and they've got a shot here. He did get first down yardage, so it's out near the 30. Louisville 164 rushing yards in the first half against the defense of Clark Lee. He did not expect to give up more yards in the first half than they gave up on average in a game last year. Stop and go for Hall, and he has slammed down a physical tackle in the backfield made by Owusu.
I think Jeremiah Owusu, as season goes on, they're looking for more playmakers at that next level. He's going to be a superstar for Notre Dame's defense.
Well, nice ovation from the Louisville crowd. They appreciate the energy and the fight of this underdog team. And Saturday, Juwan pass in Louisville. Running game for both teams has been productive. That crazy sequence at the end of the half. Back to back to back fumbles. Set up Ian Book. He redeemed himself for his own fumble with a touchdown run. And now Louisville gets the football back. And excellent start. They're in the game. They got to halftime hanging with the Irish. Now, what can they do in the second 30 minutes?
You know, and I think if you would have told Scott Satterfield halftime you're going to be tied now down 7, I think he's going to be pretty happy with that, considering the team that he's going up against. And now it's about first week halftime adjustments. What can you do? What did you learn? And what can you do to get back to where they were in those first couple series when they were kind of moving the ball up and down the field? Since then, they've not had a whole lot of luck against Brian Kelly's defense.
Yeah, both defenses, after getting gashed for huge gains in the first quarter, settled in the second quarter. Doris Boot will carry to the end zone and be left right there. Let's take a look at To Do More in a Jiffy, brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, this defense, first 2 series, Louisville up and down the field, 163 yards and a couple touchdowns, and then Clark Lee made some adjustments, and the defense responded, getting their eyes on the ball. Saw the freshman Hamilton. Look at O'Quara, the difference in 15 pounds. Helped being able to turn that play right there into a fumble. But the bull rush, no longer just speed off the edge. He can use speed, but also use his power now at 250 pounds.
You see how the offense bogged down. Pass, accounting for both the Louisville touchdowns on the ground. Passing, he's 4 for 13. And flips it back. It's a screen. Atwell almost stumbled, keeps his feet, and finally does dive across the 40. Ball comes out. Is it live? There wasn't a whistle there. Now it's signal Louisville football. It'll move it back, but yet another ball on the ground.
I thought he was down, and then the ball came out. We'll have to see. Knees down. Looks like he's down.
I think they'll take a look at that. Louisville will gain some field position back. Watch the knee. Boom, right there. And it looks like he still has the ball in the right hand.
Yeah, watch the play. Watch him bring pressure. Bring pressure. It's a perfect time to be able to get the ball behind that pressure. Notre Dame brings blitzes, linebackers going the wrong way, and all that space for Atwell.
Crawford's hand is coming in to punch the ball out just as Atwell's knee is hitting the ground. Another one of those bang plays for Bob Welch in the replay booth. There's the ball being punched. I think the knee is on the ground before it's out. So it's the opposite of the ruling before.
That's right.
Again, because it was ruled a fumble on the field, has to be burden of proof falls on the way that he had possession.
If you're calling that live, that's the right call on the field, and then let the replay booth try to figure it out and try to correct the mistake, or correct the call on the field.
Dave Kataya, it's been an interesting first half. Bob Welch, the replay official, is in here talking about the judgment calls they had to make. Here's another one that's pretty close. How do you see this?
Well, Chris, as you described, it looks to me that that knee is down. Then the ball comes out.
At the review, the ball carrier was down at the 41-yard line. First down, Louisville. Please reset the game clock to 14 minutes and 55 seconds.
Dave says it here, and Dwayne Hayes says it there. Yep, so they'll reverse the call. It'll be a gain back to the spot where Atwell was down at the 41.
And I think what Scott Satterfield saw and talked probably to his staff about was getting back to getting the ball on the perimeter where they have speed and in space. Mixing up, occasionally in the middle, but also working the edges a little bit more, forcing Notre Dame to try to make plays out there against that speed.
Hawkins picks his way. Quick burst gets him 5 on first down across the 45. You impressed by the run game scheme, or are you disappointed in Notre Dame's run stop ability so far?
Well, a little bit of both. I mean, they're breaking in new linebackers, new leadership when you lose Tranquil and Coney. So you got to be able to replace that. But how can you not be impressed with what Louisville's capable of doing in this new scheme with Satterfield after the way they played late last year?
Patience as Hawkins picks his way, dives for a first down into Notre Dame territory. Maria?
Well, Chris, Coach Satterfield said that it was a tale of 2 quarters in that first half. Offense played great in the first, defense great in the second. And he also said that in order to win this game, they will have to complete some balls downfield. So they might be looking to take some strikes as this game progresses.
It's true, Maria. There hadn't been anything remotely like a downfield strike yet. But the run moves the ball in Irish territory. First down. Quick handoff to Hawkins. Sheds a tackle again. Hawkins is going to be run down from behind by Khalid Kareem, the defensive end, but he still picked up 7.
Well, it's a good job of blocking, although they get away with a hold by Robbie Bell, the right guard. He tackles his man, trying to be able to make a block on a linebacker, Drew White.
Can it be a good block when he tackles the guy? Or?
The left side did a good job of blocking the right guard.
It's good if you get away with it.
The right guard, he got away with one there. He literally tackled, jumped on the back of Drew White, and the umpire did not see it.
It's the kind of first down play that Satterfield would dream about there. They got 7, so it's 2nd and short. Hammered right away. Hassan Hall ran into a wall, got about a yard.
Well, that is a big-time hit. Tagovailoa, Mosa right there, just lowers his shoulder into Hall. Watch this real time here.
In the Hawaiian Islands, they hit physical football because you got Tagovailoa and Gilman, both Hawaiians on this defense, and 2 of the hardest hitters.
285 pounds there, lowering the boom.
So now it's 3rd and 2. Big play, the Irish 40 early in the half, and a whistle and a timeout taken. The play clock winding down. Satterfield knows this one is important. You want to answer Notre Dame's late touchdown of the half, get up to a positive start, and they'll talk about this 3rd and 2 play now. After the timeout, the Cardinals try to end an 0-for-4 skid on 3rd down, and a handoff up the middle to Hassan Hall, who's breaking free, and my guy Herbstreit called the exact play in our timeout. Good call, Coach.
Use Tutu Atwell's speed as eye candy. Make those linebackers feel that speed, and then you run up the middle with either the quarterback or the running back Hall, just enough to make them hesitate, to give the lineman a chance to get up to him. Showed a little bit of power running through some arm tackles tonight, Hassan Hall.
And Atwell has flashed his speed enough that defense has to pay attention. You let him have a crease, and it's bye-bye.
Yep.
Good decoy there. Move the sticks to the 24-yard line. Now a first down play action pass on the move. Cuts it back. Lost the ball again, and the Irish have it. Coming up with it is Dalen Hayes. His pass is fumbled for a 2nd time. Ogundeji knocked it out of his hands.
Ogundeji right where he needs to be. You know, I thought initially off of this play action look, it looked like he had room to get outside, but a good job of keeping contained. Watch him right here work to get outside and then get his hand on the football. But man, Pass has got to do a better job when he gets out there protecting the football. See how loose it is away from his body, holding it with one hand, gives a defender plenty of an opportunity to knock the ball away, to get the ball back to Ian Book. That was a heck of a drive they had there.
They're going to count on Pass to be a runner a lot more this season in this offense. You know there's going to be ball security drills in practice after his 2nd fumble. Jones cuts it back, shows his strength. Looked like a wide run. He said, wait a minute, I make a left turn. Big gain up the middle.
Well, you and I and everybody probably talking at halftime thinking, okay, they're averaging close to 10 yards a carry. I think they're going to probably go back to running the football, trying to dominate that line of scrimmage. Looks like we got an injured
That's
player.
Kane Pass there. That's the older brother of the quarterback who got cut down on a block and being looked at by the athletic trainers. It's another test for this Louisville defense. Their offense had moved the ball, appeared to be threatening to tie this game up, and the Irish with another takeaway. It's 3 Louisville fumbles, and quarterback all 3 of them. And this is a tough guy to lose here. Pass is a senior. The brothers come from Columbus, Georgia. Safety, who's a big part of that group, is being helped off, limping heavily.
Yeah, he's the one who actually made the tackle on the play. He's been active. I mean, he's listed as a safety, but they have him up near the line of scrimmage tonight quite a bit in that run game, trying to help out.
Unorthodox way to walk up. Almost looks like it's a cramp. The way he's walking.
Yeah.
We hope that's all it is. Sophomore, inexperienced sophomore Jack Fago replaces him at safety. Jones is the back. He's got it. Picks his way and stacked up after a 6-yard gain.
You know, with the way that first half ended, where it felt like it was going to be tied at 14-14, and we had the 3 different fumbles, and eventually Ian Book was able to put it into the end zone to give the Irish the 7-point lead. You could say this is a big series for this Louisville defense right now. They cannot afford to get down by 14.
Book has a lot of time. Again, rolls, pump fakes, and will tightrope for a short gain. They'll spot him out just short of the marker, pressured by Dana Kennard. Jones over 100 yards tonight. 10 for 105. Nice average and a touchdown. 3rd and 1. The Cardinals have another short yardage stop in them. Jones to the left. Has it. And he's going to be stopped. Another stout play by this beleaguered defense. Okeke and company make it 4th down.
Well, they're setting the edge, and then they're watching the inside, how much movement they have. Then they bring the linebackers up. Notre Dame trying to collapse that left side of the Louisville defense, but unable to do so, and it gave the linebackers a chance to get in there and get the penetration. Heck of a stop again on 3rd and short.
It's an offense with a proud offensive line that's been stopped on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and 3rd and 1 again tonight, and they send out Bramlett to punt. Burns charges up at his short punt and makes the fair catch at the 24. Louisville defense does its job.
Difficult losses to recover from.
Georgia State goes to Rocky Top and wins. Hand off running right and wrestled down Hawkins.
How about Hank Bachmeier's brothers' names? Bear, Buck, and Tiger. I've never met the kid. I love him.
For Heisman. You're just driving the train here.
Much like Bo Nix, you watch a guy and you can just see something's a little different about this guy. There's something a little different about Bachmeier.
Tell you what, ACC fans, Mac Brown's heels and have my attention. The Hurricanes go there this Saturday, conference openers. 2nd and 12 after Hawkins was stopped behind the line, and now pass rolling out and delivers behind Atwell. They've tried to target him a lot, but the Irish secondary paying attention to him. That's Crawford in coverage.
Last 4 possessions, give you an idea. They opened this game, the first 2 possessions. Louisville moving right down the field. Pass was in control, running, throwing, 2 touchdowns. Since then, their last 4 possessions, a fumble, the half, and another fumble. So Clark Lee, I think it's very different right now. And it's not just dominating defensive line. I think he's adjusting his look. There's a good look at Clark Lee. Getting more zone and getting more eyes on the football as opposed to playing as much man-to-man as they were early.
Atwell far left, and now a flinch in the interior offensive line. The Irish.
False start. Offense.
Drawn
number
off.
59. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
TJ McCoy, the center. Both quarterbacks, Kirk, 63 yards passing. passes accounted for the 2 touchdown runs, but just 5 of 15 and just 63 yards on those completions. So really, we're completely bereft of a downfield completion tonight. Nothing.
And
both sides.
Yeah. Both teams trying to keep everything in front of them, especially Notre Dame, after the adjustments they've made, playing with deeper safeties.
Yeah, they're really deep now in 3rd and 17. Decent protection, ball out, catch made. Nope, it's not made. It's dropped by Atwell. It was closely covered by the freshman Hamilton, and here comes the punt team.
That's where that length of Hamilton at 6'4". Remember, the freshman, great feel, great just instincts for a young defensive back. Atwell's only 5'9". This is where that length of defensive backs can really help out, being able to get around a receiver and affect the ball.
Pass unable to lead his receiver into open space, made it tough. So Fink is back deep. King kicks it high, not terribly deep, and Fink's going to drift and make a fair catch, and Notre Dame will have great field position. Ball at the 43. 21-14 Irish, 40-yard punt. Man up there checking things. Hope they have binoculars. Tell you, when you look down and look across, you see more empty seats than you should. This thing was pretty full, and for some reason, a lot of the Louisville fans had
they're used to
taking off, or they're
used to shutting it down like the team last year. The team's not shutting it down. These guys are fighting.
Book again looks to throw on first down. It's a crossing route, and Claypool's got space, and the big fella with those long strides turns back. And it delivers a shot to 3 DBs, and it takes 5 guys to get him down to the 26.
Yeah, Brock Wright, the tight end, clears, which takes a linebacker, and then you'll have Claypool coming underneath. Watch Etheridge, 17. He kind of goes with him. That opens up a nice hole right there in the zone. And then somebody's got to be there. You got to get off the blocks, got to rally to the football. Can't just be on the middle linebacker going with the middle with the tight end.
31-yard gain. Book again looking to throw on first down. Across the middle. Hits his man in stride. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Tommy Tremble, the tight end.
Tommy Tremble getting his hands on the ball. It's more like what you would see from Notre Dame. Too high safety. Weakness is the middle of the field, and that's where they attack. He has to respect the outside receiver. Well-designed plays, just 4 verticals, pick on that safety. If he works to the outside, you go back to the middle where the opening is. If he stays to the inside, you go outside. Good read, easy read for Ian Book, and a touchdown.
And Cole Kmet, the stud tight end, down with a broken collarbone for at least another game. So guys like Brock Wright and Tremble have to step up, and that's his first career touchdown reception.
Pretty nice.
Sophomore out of Georgia.
Pretty nice when the big fella comes in and gets that too high look, and the middle of the field is wide open. Just got to reach up and catch the ball.
You said how successful they had been running on first down, not throwing, but on that drive, a couple of first down throws. They get the space, they loosen up the defense.
Offside defense. That penalty is declined. We'll have it tried.
So the 2 passes cover 57 yards, just about a half a minute, and now it's a 2 touchdown lead for Kelly's team. It's going to make Book feel better about his evening. Jonathan Dorr, he needs reps. He needs reps kicking PATs and field goals. So far, so good.
I know it's a 14-point game, but after what Louisville went through last year, I'm really excited to see how they respond.
Magomedov takes on the interim champ. Dustin Poirier, main event, pay-per-view in English and Espanol, starting at 2 Eastern. Got to order the main card by going to ESPNplus.com/PPV and download the app. Now, you said it.
Remember when Habib beat up McGregor? He got a little crazy after the fight.
He did.
Oh, yeah, he's a wild guy. I'm going to watch that one. First fight back since that. I think he got suspended, didn't he? After they went crazy after in the ring, octagon.
Well, if this were an octagon right now, Louisville will be on the ground.
Now, last year they'd be in the locker room.
Yeah, we're right.
Yeah.
All right.
But let's see if they want to keep fighting tonight.
They take it to Hall. Pass, pats the ball, and now flips it near side. And a catch made on the sidelines by Tobias Little, the tight end.
I mean, we're kind of kidding about it, but really that was a problem for this team. And when you came in with Scott Satterfield and his staff from Appalachian State, where they're used to winning, he found a team that was defeated mentally, emotionally, and part of their, forget the scheme, part of this was just trying to teach them, rebuild their confidence, teach them about being happy, being prideful in who you are, and learning how to fight through adversity. And here you are down 14. Last year they would have shut it down. Let's see what they do tonight.
All cuts it back, runs hard, and will move the sticks.
Now, they've been up to this point, they've done a pretty good job of being resilient through some adversity, but they haven't had this kind of deficit, so this will be the first time. I mean, last year was so obvious, their body language, finger pointing, it was not a good thing.
No, pass is a lot to overcome too. He's been responsible for the 3 fumbles, has not thrown an interception yet. As a runner, 55 on the ground. Atwell in motion, the snap gets away, and they have to fall on it. That snap was fired low and gave the quarterback no chance.
Well, Cole Bentley is in its center, who's a lefty. This snap goes wild to low, kind of to the right. Again, you can make an argument he can get his hands down at 6'4" and make a play on it, but it's not ideal, especially with Atwell coming in motion. But a different center, different snap with the left, and gets away from pass.
That's a good point, left and right hand. We asked him, you're going to really rotate centers, Bentley and McCoy in the shotgun. It's tricky. And it moves them back. 2nd and 19. Difficult to recover from a loss like that. Pass fires short and dropped. Trying to go down low, come up with his Devontae Peets, and all of a sudden nothing going right for this team.
No, bad snap, drop football. And now you're looking at 3rd and forever at 3rd and 19. Think about it again. The last 5 possessions for Louisville: fumble, fumble into the half, fumble, and a punt. Give Notre Dame's credit. We're sitting here talking a lot about Louisville's offense. Got to continue to give Notre Dame's defense a lot of credit.
And now a pre-snap flag.
Offense, number 7, 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, you talked about it. How will they respond? They've been rattled going down, 2 scores. The quick strike Notre Dame touchdown, and this offense has responded with a series of mistakes.
Absolutely. One thing that feels very different about Notre Dame, they don't have some of those marquee names, the leadership of Tranquil and Coney, Julian Love, but one thing they do have is depth. It feels like they have more depth on defense.
Option pitch. Dangerous because it was behind Hall and very fast. He barely gets his hand on it. Hamilton forces him out, and a disastrous series ends. 4th down.
Yeah, lucky to get that ball out. You see Kareem closing in on him, and you said it. Fast and behind, not necessarily ideal for a back on the option pitch.
They flirted. They tried for another fumble in that series. Fink figures to give the Irish good field possession again. He's standing at his own 35. High boot by King. Fink retreats. It's a good punt and makes a fair catch at the 25-yard line. Told you about the doubleheader. It's a short week. Getting ready for LSU and Texas. A lot of anticipation in Austin. The day begins on ABC at 3:30 Eastern time. Is Jimbo and the Aggies go to Death Valley. That was a classic game.
Oh man, it was. Kellen Mond threw for over 400 yards with Jimbo Fisher's offense at home, and now Brent Venables had an entire offseason to get his defense ready for Mond and Jimbo Fisher's attack. I can't wait to watch that one live from Death Valley. That'll be a good one.
Game days in Austin. Reese Davis joining you on the call as I do U.S. Open Championship duties next week. So Book, off that touchdown pass, retreats on 1st down and just throws it away. Knocked down after the throw. They obviously have a couple touchdowns. Want to get the passing game going with bigger games down the road in mind, right?
Oh, of course. If you're watching this game, and it's first game, I mean, you're going to see a lot of improvement. But if you're watching this game and you have Ian Book back, of course he has new weapons that need to be established. But this is not the way you probably expected to see Notre Dame's offense look as far as throwing the football.
Foul for an eligible receiver downfield. The ball was grounded legally out of bounds. 2nd down.
Pick up the flag.
Why was that even in question? He was almost to the sideline and threw that ball well beyond the line of scrimmage. That was a given. That should not be a flag.
Kelly with his offensive play sheet in front of him. Chip Long, by the way, who calls the plays, was hired by Bobby Petrino as a grad assistant here. Spent some time in Louisville. Book, they come after him, gets it away. Catch made underneath by Tremble, and the tight end who caught the touchdown minutes ago is becoming involved in this offense.
Well, when you take a chance getting after Ian Book with linebacker blitzes, it's going to leave an opening behind them if they don't get home. They bring both the linebackers, and look at that. Does a nice job of feeling them, almost baiting them towards him, letting them come, and then going right over top of them to the big tight end who comes into the game, gets a few catches.
Jones dragged down. We knew we'd see lots of faces. Kelly thought maybe 10 to 12 guys would touch the ball on offense. What he was excited about was that he said Ian Book has a very close relationship with really everybody on offense, not just the starters, anybody who might get involved, and that's a change.
It is, and I thought it was neat to hear him say, you know, practice, if a guy like Lawrence Keys, who's a freshman, makes a mistake, instead of yelling at him, his style is to kind of walk over to him after the rep and talk to him about the mistake he made.
Book from the pocket, doesn't see anything he likes, and he'll take off and shimmy and then lower the shoulder for a short gain. So he's doing less yelling. Brian Kelly doing less yelling. Chip Long, we got to work on. he'll still air it out of practice.
Yeah, he's good. he balances everything out. But no, I think it's kind of cool to watch the difference in styles of different quarterbacks around the country and how they try to win the team over. You hear coaches win the team over, and that's one of the ways you can do it, and how you lead and how you perform when things are good and when things are bad in practice.
Cardinals crowds had to make some noise because they get a stop on 3rd and 4. They rush 4. Book has time, gets it out, threw it into traffic right to Fink, who was well covered and broken up by Chandler Jones, the sophomore corner. 4th down.
That's where you wonder if the quarterback and Fink are on the same page. Fink just turns, and it's kind of working its way to the outside, and the ball's thrown behind him. It makes me wonder that if Book was expecting him to just turn and sit as opposed to going out. The two veteran players just not on the same page there, and they're fortunate that ball was not intercepted by Louisville.
So that's dangerous. Jones, had he been able to grab the football, had green turf in front of him.
Defense has not given up.
No. It's a high punt from Bramlett. Fair catch signaled at the 15-yard line. ACC football is here. Visit ACCN.com to check for providers in your area. If you don't see yours listed, contact them to demand. It says here, carry the ACC network.
You said next Saturday, Reese Davis will be calling the LSU Texas game with me. You'll be doing the championship, right, at Flushing Meadows.
Yep.
Who are you expecting to be in the championship for the men and the women?
But women changes day by day. I thought it was going to be Naomi Osaka, knocked out Coco Gauff. Then she was knocked out.
Right.
I have Serena
have a chance?
24 hours from now, I'll be calling Serena's.
She have a shot to get to the finals?
Great shot. I would say she's the favorite right now.
Favorite to win it all.
Yeah. Beautiful. Atwell, he's strung out and dropped. Could not get to the edge. And that's Drew White, the big run-stop linebacker. Another play in space.
You know what that is? That's saying, okay, you beat me on this before. Watch his vision, and then he takes off. Anticipating that. That's a great job of just knowing exactly what to see based on formation, based on knowing where number 1, Tutu Atwell is, seeing him coming, and then beating him and running to where he will be instead of running behind him. Great play.
So another big loss on 1st down, and on 2nd and 16. He just looks dangerous, Hawkins, every time he gets the football. He and Hassan Hall, they're going to make some plays running the football this year.
They sure are. You know, one of the things that Clark Lee has against quarterbacks is with the pass rush that they have, they don't always have to blitz. You know, you can rush 4 and get pressure on a quarterback and be effective. Look at this with their standard rush, just rushing 3 or 4, 1 of 9, because they're dropping 7 and playing zone. Against a blitz, he's had more success.
Often you see those numbers reverse, right, for quarterbacks.
Yeah, they've got 3 outstanding pass rushers, and Kareem, Hayes, and Okwara. And on 3rd down like this, they get them all on the field together.
They pick up the pressure pass, rolls and delivers, and Atwell's got it, and he slips down, but it's a first down as they keep the drive alive.
Well, they flushed him. They rushed four. They got pressure on him, but give pass credit for his vision downfield, where he's able to find Atwell, who kind of finds that soft space. Watching his quarterback running for his life, he's able to run and find a hole in the back end of the secondary, really between Gilman and the linebacker.
Bogle, ball right up the middle's on the ground. Looks like the Cardinals have got it back, but they are just flirting with turnovers every possession here.
Yeah, and ball never got in to Hawkins. I don't think he ever had his hands on it. I don't know if he wasn't expecting it or if he thought it might be a fake, but ball's
eyes upfield.
Yeah, ball was put on his stomach, and he just did not clamp down on top of it. And he's fortunate to scramble there to be able to pick up the football. It looked like there were 2 or 3 Notre Dame jerseys there right around the ball, just happened to bounce his way. How about that? 5 fumbles today.
It was a pretty clean start, and then fumbleitis broke out. There's a carry to the right side. Secures the football, short gain, and set up the 3rd and 4.
Looking forward to watching the Notre Dame linebackers just grow. We were watching them tonight with Drew White get a chance. Billall's moved from playing that hybrid rover spot last year, now moving over to the other inside linebacker spot. Owusu playing a lot tonight, 6. It's a good-looking group. They just lose so much experience with Tavon Coney and Drew Tranquill moving on.
Yeah, Tranquill's like the pre-snap quarterback of the defense, right? So other guys have to take on that role. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Pass, gets it out quickly, and the catch is made. Breaking free. It's a first down. Huge gain for Marshawn Ford, and he's running down inside the 30.
This is an example of what we just talked about, the linebacker play. We just bragged on Drew White. Now he's going to be matched up man-to-man right here. And this is just about, can you stay with him? Can you get out there quickly enough to be able to make a play? He's there, but just a step behind to give Ford, who Louisville's very high on his upside as a tight end. You can see everybody's playing man-to-man. They have their backs there to Ford. So once he's able to break free from White, Chris, a lot of yards to pick up.
Ex-running back is really more of a receiver than a blocking tight end. Hometown guy. 37-yard gain. The Cardinals threatening.
You score here, it's game. He can catch. He can throw. And Chris said throw. And here it is right here. Looks to the outside. He's got him. Crawford trying to come over. If the ball is thrown lower, obviously the big tight end Ford is able to take care and protect the ball, but just a little bit high. And what a call. An aggressive play call there by Satterfield.
That was saying, doggone it. I know I can throw it. I had him. He got a little excited because he saw Ford that open.
Yeah, 12 men and
offense. 12 players lining up a formation. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
This is mental errors you got to avoid.
We get Sue a few chances like that. Special plays. You know they'd play a role tonight. Atwell, you want to use his multiple talents as much as you can. They weren't fully utilized last year, that's for sure. They tried to get him the ball a whole bunch tonight. They've targeted him 10 times. He's caught 5 of them.
Oh, he's just a guy, whether you're handing it to him, you're throwing it to him on a reverse where he can throw it. He's just on this roster currently, he's one of the more dynamic playmakers they have. So you got to find different ways and be creative, get him in the ball.
He comes in motion again. They're going to run it back to the boundary side and heavy traffic, just gaining about a yard there. Gilman stopped him.
The other thing you can do with him is that, we've seen 3 or 4 times where the Notre Dame safeties, they're probably all yelling at each other where one is. They're probably IDing him, and everybody's aware, so sometimes you use him as a jet motion or something to try to freeze the linebacker, freeze the safety. Look at Notre Dame continuing to roll bodies in.
They need 13 on 3rd down. You wonder if they're thinking about 2 plays here. Down a couple touchdowns in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they have to.
Play clock's winding down. They've got a couple timeouts. They get the snap off, and it's a run. And Hawkins is going to gain about 4. It's going to be 4th down and 9.
Down there bringing out the field goal unit.
Maybe not quite enough gained on that play, but I thought that potentially you look at that as a 2-play sequence.
Yeah,
field goal just gets you within 11.
I think there was no hesitation there at all.
Very reliable lefty. This is from 42 yards, and Creaky usually makes these routinely.
Thought you jinxed him.
I was waiting for the shank, but no, he comes through.
I was going to crush you if you missed that.
Not what they were looking for, but Louisville chipping away. 11-point margin. Near the bottom with minus 12 last season, and they're sitting at a -2 tonight. Creaky's 44th career field goal did stop the 21-zip run of the Irish.
If we can just get the home crowd to have the same fight as this new Cardinal team, they'd have a heck of a deal here.
Yeah, they continue to trickle out here. I know you got to go to work tomorrow morning, but
don't come to the game if you got to go to work. The middle is when the linebackers clear out. I mean, picking up some yards, 6 yards on 1st and 10. You know, that's pretty good for me. I'll take that.
In the pocket. This time he hangs in the pocket and now just backpedals and throws it away. Good. But there's going to be times when he's going to have to make plays in there.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there was some good coverage that time on 2nd down to get this Louisville defense, and what's left of this crowd is now getting into the game. They got another 3rd down opportunity to try to get after Ian Book. I would recommend spying with that linebacker just in case the rush gets to him and he wants to step up and take off.
Irish 2 of 8 on 3rd down. They failed a number of times on 3rd and short. Book has protection, delivers a strike, and it's a 1st down at the 40-yard line.
Nice
Beginning
job.
to use Trimble as a big part of this offense now.
Yep. And this time, Chris, it's zone. And for Trimble not having a lot of experience, watch him just sit in, find the soft spot in the zone. Nice job of getting the spacing and finding that hole. And Book waits for him and puts it right on the money.
And they used some tempo, Kirk, after the 1st down. And Louisville was just running 3 defenders off the field when it was snapped. It's a short gain for Jones.
They're just trying to catch Louisville napping, trying to catch him off guard. Nice job by Ray J. Burns, who has a tough job. They call that the card position, that hybrid outside linebacker that's kind of a nickel that at times will blitz, run support like he just did there. Sometimes he plays man-to-man. We see it every week. Teams have that position, and Burns is playing it tonight.
Jones stopped. Burns, a guy who was at Ohio State, transferred back to his hometown. He was 2nd in the Mr. Football voting here in Kentucky.
And he made a nice play again. You know, that is a tough position, like I said, because of the versatility. In Ohio State, he was more of a corner. And even last year here, he was a corner. And that time, he set the edge and came up and forced the back Smith to have to cut back inside.
Under 200 pounds, but you're right, playing tough.
Yeah.
Another 3rd down. They need 7.
Remember to watch Book. Got to mirror him.
From the pocket, high throw, catch made. Keys, and the young freshman in his 1st game out of New Orleans getting involved. A couple of grabs tonight.
Yeah, again, Ian Book just not quite in rhythm tonight, but give the freshman Keys, who's known as a speedster, a lot of credit. Right at the 1st down mark, going back up in the air and making the play on this ball. He doesn't lead him in there, throws it behind him, but well, I'd be excited if I'm a Notre Dame fan seeing the hands on the young freshman like that.
In the pocket on 1st down, Book retreating and will heave it out of bounds. Still looking to make a downfield play.
Boy, did
Monte Caban pressured him.
Just kind of threw that ball away. The fans obviously upset, wanting intentional grounding. There was a receiver down that sideline, but he did just kind of retreat and just.
We got to have Dave Katak at a clinic on the rules of intentional grounding. That's not intentional grounding. I appreciate their spirit.
Yeah.
Irish not trying to just bleed the clock out. They're aggressive with the passing game, up 11 here. Smith in the flat goes up and gets it, and able to dodge a tackle and dive to the 40 to set up another 3rd down. They'll need about 4. Fourth quarter unfolds. Ask you to give a grade of this Notre Dame offense tonight. They were taking on one of the worst defenses in the country last year, but one that's playing much better tonight. Jones is the back. Play clock at 5. Book flushed again. Has room. Will he get there? Yes. Dives for a first down near the 36.
So they've been hitting that inside throw, a lot of them on third down, and so there's an awareness now by the defense. So they're looking for this. So what Book does is he says, if you're going to take away, see the eyes of that defender, he's coming into the inside, okay, but I'm going to get to the corner. So he basically just picks on a defender that time, Abdullah, saying, I'm either going to throw the slant if you widen out, or if you take it away, I'll use my speed and pick up another first down on third down.
He's run for 1 touchdown and also extended drives several times with his legs on third down. Fake to Jones. Book looking downfield and fires near sideline. Claypool trying to work his way into open space. Still going. Big fella gets the edge. It'll be knocked down inside the 5.
And I absolutely love this by Claypool. Who's going to be a guy that can make a play in this passing game after the catch? We know about some of the young guys. Here's the guy that's been challenging himself, and the coaches have challenged to become the guy in this receiving core. And instead of just catching it, maybe getting tackled or going out of bounds, he decides he's going to make something happen and goes all the way across to show you what he can do with the ball in his hands after a catch. Beautiful.
Actually retreated, gave up yardage to get the corner and picked up 34.
He can go for his size.
Smith in the game on 1st and goal. He's got it. Banging, fighting, stop short at the 1. Been an impressive drive for Notre Dame after the field goal by Louisville. They've moved it 11 plays, 74 yards.
And converted 3 third downs, as you mentioned, to keep that clock moving, keep this drive alive. They're about under 8.5 minutes. Looking for a touchdown.
Smith again barrels into the end zone, and the Irish pad the lead. Second touchdown for the sophomore.
That's a big time drive, man. That's huge. Louisville not going away, just kind of hanging around just enough. And on the road, you need a drive. Mixing up the run with the pass, controlling the line of scrimmage. Good job by Chip Long and mixing up the play calling. And I mentioned it, 3 third downs that they were able to convert on. Huge. Just a great drive. 12 plays and 75 yards and a touchdown.
Claypool, who's been the main receiving target tonight, a 34-yard play to set up the touchdown. All touchdowns, no field goals tonight for this Notre Dame offense, and the lead 18 with 8:15 to play. In his wife's 25th wedding anniversary, I think he's in a good, peaceful place to begin the season. I think he's feeling more peaceful now than he was in the second quarter.
Yeah. I just think last couple years, it just feels like he's got a different vibe about him.
By the way, building a house, it's 3 houses away from New Rockney's old house. Hall, he accelerates quickly, takes a shot, stopped at the 24-yard line. It's unusual for college football head coaches to be able to take an extended vacation. He said that his 3 kids, their youngest is entering the senior year in high school, get them all together. A meal with a family of 5 is a special deal.
He said as a coach, you really don't get a chance. You got to go over to Ireland to have
the hurling going on.
Family dinner.
Yeah. Look, take it up to local sports. He said he played 11 rounds of golf. Had the rain gear on once. Said that is a charmed summer over there in Scotland.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I know. You've told me.
You usually have the rain gear on 11 times with 11 rounds of golf.
And your world travels, is that one of your favorite spots?
I love it. Yeah. Not for the golf really, but just, for the whiskey maybe.
Yeah.
Pass from the pocket, swarmed and sacked. He hasn't really been contained and sacked in the pocket a lot by this formidable pass rush.
Heinisch getting in there. And the inside, we get so used to these guys on the edge, Hayes and Okwara and Kareem, but it's nice to be able to see Kurt Heinisch be able to get in there and make a play and just get a push right up the middle into the face of Juwan Pass.
Big old nose guard from Pittsburgh. Not the guy you'd expect to sack the quarterback. And now pass is flushed again. Rolling out, glad of room. He can take off, tucks the ball, and scoots out across the 40.
Well, Chris, they blitzed the linebackers and played man. Look at the man-to-man. Everybody running with the receiver, so there's nobody left. When you blitz the linebacker, nobody accounts for the quarterback pass, and easy for him to get big yards with his speed.
233 yards on the ground for this Cardinals offense tonight. And a whistle, flag, false start again.
False start. Offense. Number 60. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Louisville's got Eastern and then Western Kentucky up next. Then the conference opener in Tallahassee. Clemson comes in here October 19. That's the other real big marquee home game, and they'll try to do better than last year. It was 77-16 down there. Pass rolls and it's incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Isaac Martin. This is a big marquee game. So is Clemson. If you wanted to get a ticket for either game, you had to buy season tickets. At Miami, at NC State, and Kentucky, another rival that thumped them. They're on the road for that one.
What'd they win last year?
0 in the ACC.
Right, but overall, 2 games. You think a bowl game after seeing them tonight? I think trying to get the 6 wins. I think you might as well. I don't know.
I think they'd be thrilled with a bowl game.
Of course.
You've seen that much from them?
Yeah, there's a lot to like about this team.
Catch made by Des Fitzpatrick. Haven't been able to involve the junior receiver enough tonight. It contained him well. Oh boy, got to show the flashback. Yikes!
Oh man, we were there.
Oh, this is not last year's game.
Cut inside.
Cut back. No, they're stopped a couple of yards short, and a great quarterback duel between Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson ended with a 6-point victory for Clemson. Look at the different directions those programs have gone since that night.
I would say in all the games you and I have had a chance to call, what is this, our 5th or 6th year, whatever it is, we've called national championships together. We've called Rose Bowls, called some fun games. That game is one of the more memorable games. What a setting in Death Valley. And Lamar Jackson, a week or 2 earlier, what he did here against Florida State's defense built so much hype up for that matchup between Lamar and Deshaun.
And sometimes those hype quarterback duels don't pan out. That one
it sure did.
Definitely did.
Because it looked like Clemson early, and Louisville came back in that second half and got within a possession.
They were number 3 in the country.
Right.
I mean, if he cuts back, if they score, if they pull the upset off that game.
I know.
Remember that Clemson went to the championship game.
Sure did.
Won it. Pass. Navigating his way. It was heavy traffic. Then he escapes and gets about 6 before Drew White stops him.
You were talking yesterday, well, we all were, but you were fascinated with Scott Satterfield, showing you he keeps a notebook from every year that he's called plays, and we were all, of course, asking about 07, 2007. You know, when you guys went up against Michigan in the Big House, and he got all excited. He go, hold on a second.
I just wanted one story from him, because it's 12 years ago to the day yesterday. Leaves the room, comes back, this old spiral notebook with a water stain on it. Says, look at this.
He said he keeps them from every year. He found the 07 one and showed us the play chart from that Michigan game.
I mean, this is the page. It's tiny writing, and as they would run the play, Armani Edwards was the quarterback of that team. He's still in the CFL. They scratch it off. The water stain just perfect.
Yes, that's it. That's. It's not like John Gruden was 74 pages. I mean, that's the play call.
We were all saying that belongs in the College Football Hall of Fame. Now, Michigan fans don't want to hear that, but that's one of the. They were FCS at the time. That's one of the.
It's right up there with
humongous upsets in the history of the sport.
Right up there with Georgia State beating Tennessee.
Pass is going to be swarmed, and finally, Dalen Hayes, the senior defensive end, traps the quarterback. I'm going to take you back to this game. Again, 12 years ago yesterday, about a minute and a half to go. Mountaineers drove 69 yards. Set up the field goal. Wolverines driving down, attempt a field goal here. Blocked by Corey Lynch.
Wow.
And Coach Jerry Moore ridden off the field. He's actually here tonight, 80 years old, on the sidelines, supporting his former assistant Satterfield. That is very cool.
Very cool.
Across the middle, Atwell, and once again targeted, but just off his fingertips. And it'll be 3rd down and long.
You know, and from that point on, everybody that had to play App State in a non-conference game was like, uh-oh. Who are they going to get next?
Well, they got the Wolverines, and you're right. They came close. They've been dangerous since they've come up to the FBS.
Tennessee, yeah, they played a lot of teams.
Took the Vols to overtime. They battled Penn State hard.
In Happy Valley.
Yep. Irish defense backpedaling way back. They'll concede a run like this to pass, although he spins down inside the 35 and makes it 4th and about 6.
He continues to show a lot of fight tonight. He's had to do a lot. Scrambling, obviously throwing, running the football tonight. He's got 15 carries now, up to 82 yards rushing. Almost leads them in rushing. Right now Hawkins is the leading rusher.
And another flag. They need 7. Now they need 12.
Well, everybody moved except the snap from Bentley.
Sometimes you see teams in an opener come out edgy.
Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And look nervous early on. We've seen sort of the opposite tonight. There's a pretty clean start, but opening night, as it wears on, as fatigue sets in, the mistakes have really built up, especially on the Louisville side.
Yeah, and that's why, everybody always looks forward to week 2. You go back, you look at the film, and there's so many lessons to be learned after getting out of camp. Even if you win or if you lose, you have a chance to learn a lot and come back and try to be a much better team by week 2.
Pass flushed, looking downfield. Can he escape? No. Throw the ball away. That has the look of intentional grounding, as Julian Okwara had him. He was in the pocket. Ball did not get near the line of scrimmage, and there wasn't a receiver there. Yeah, though it is going to be intentional grounding. That's what they rule. Didn't matter. Notre Dame will take over, up 18. 3:37 to play.
Over on downs. 1st down, Notre Dame. Timeout.
So Brian Kelly's team about 3.5 away from heading home at 1-0.
On the road in those 3 venues.
In addition, 7 Notre Dame opponents have extra time to prepare before they play Notre Dame. That's something that Brian Kelly is keenly aware of. This is a 2-bye season in college football. Only happens about once every 7 years. So Irish use their byes before Georgia and before Michigan. They use them well,
which is good. Yeah. I just would like to say 35-17, 2:30 to go. They got pushed a little bit more than they probably anticipated. It was 14-14 into the first quarter. Looked like it'd be 14 all at half, and then they caught a break and scored before they have to go up 7. But they got challenged here. Brian Kelly, I don't think he really minds that, because you can go back, as we talked earlier, and learn from the mistakes. Their defense made some incredible adjustments against pass and this offense of Louisville's, and really settled in and played much better after the first 2 possessions of the game.
Worked the play clock down on 3rd and 3. Flemister is going to be hit behind the line and dropped. Tavarius Peterson grabbed him. Chick-fil-A bringing you the rankings, and after all the action on a 5-day holiday weekend, really the only ranked team to lose lost to another ranked, point some of their fans, but an 18-point victory on the road after a spirited start by Louisville. Remember, this game was 14 apiece, and Notre Dame really took control of a series of Louisville fumbles, undoing them, and just a field goal after halftime. It's Tutu Atwell at the 12. And it's a high punt that he will fair catch at the 8-yard line. So we can close the book on Ian.
Kind of a mixed night for Ian Book, returning starter. Made some runs early to kind of get the offense established. They looked like they were just going to control things really up front with the line of scrimmage. And a lot of his success came down when they did not have linebackers there to stop him from scrambling and creating. And in the second half, he was able to get some time to throw and had more success in the second half throwing the football. But you can see that the touchdown on the ground and also one through the air.
Yeah, nice touchdown throw to Tommy Tremble. Claypool took a couple short throws and made him into substantial gains, but not the downfield threat at all in this first game. And for Louisville, they can take positives out of an 18-point loss at home because of where they finished up last year. Pass, gets the ball out quickly. He's going to still fight. Josh Johnson makes the catch, and you actually think you've seen enough from this team, attitude to put them in the potential bowl picture in the ACC?
Well, I think, they're going to have to win some non-conference games, and they have some tough games coming up. But I've seen enough from Juwan Pass and from the receivers to think that they're going to be able to compete with some teams this year in the ACC.
Again, Eastern and then Western Kentucky here, and then they go to Tallahassee.
You know, I mean,
the Noles hardly look unbeatable.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you look at Eastern, maybe we put their schedule up again. You look at Eastern and Western Kentucky. I mean, if they play the way they're capable, you'd think that they have good chances winning those games. They have Boston College, at Florida State, Wake Forest on the road. Clemson, you can forget about.
Batted in the air and caught on the carom. Pass catches his own ball, and it'll be dropped right there.
Let's try to add them up here. This is me adding them up. I'll say 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins. I think they can win 5. Yeah, they can win 6.
Just get there, huh?
I think they can get to 6.
At Western Kentucky, don't give them the win there.
I know.
The Hilltoppers on the road.
I know.
Oh, wait a minute. We're going to show the ponies?
Oh, my God, last year.
In the slop. You didn't care how much.
I didn't have the 7. I did not have the 7. I had the super, but I didn't have the 7. I had a try. I had the exacta, but I did not have the 7. You know what happened to the 7 after 22 minutes?
Taken down.
Took him down. Guess what happened after that? I had all the other horses.
So you had to find your tickets. You threw your tickets in the ground.
Because I was mad at the bear because he gave me everything but the 7. So somehow I stumbled back up and I found all the tickets and I went up there and. Turns out you win some money back when you have all those horses up the top. That's weird. Yeah, not used to that.
I don't know if it was Kataya in the replay booth. Thankfully, in football, we've never seen a 23-minute delay. Come on, are you kidding me?
It felt like an hour.
I bet it did.
And I just thought, they'll move him from 1 to 2. I'm still going to lose. And doggone it if they didn't move him all the way out.
That makes it for a lot of years when things went the other way.
Yeah, 20 years of losing. I didn't even know you're allowed to win, actually.
This will be the final play for Louisville. They had the Irish at 14 apiece. Turnovers, some breakdowns, but a lot of positive signs in game 1 for Scott Satterfield's team. This team did not quit and roll over. They fought for the Irish. Not maybe the clean, dominant performance Kelly had hoped for, but enough.
Yeah, absolutely enough. I think he's able to learn from some mistakes, learn from the things that went well.